12, the kind of the more modern world technology sections like energy and EW, they're going to be updated in the guide more often than some of the more old school stuff, due to the nature of technology evolving, of course. But yeah, so that's EW. Now moving on to observation. The simplest thing, well, we'll say is a level 0, is just having good awareness. Okay, there's level 0. Level 1 is having a monocular or binocular. This is oftentimes very much forgotten about. It's the simplest thing. You can just get a little monocular. Doesn't even have to be that expensive. Doesn't have to have crazy zoom. You can get as crazy or simple with it as you want. But just having a little pair of binos or a little monocular somewhere, maybe you want a monocular for space, that can be nice, if you're on the top story of a parking garage and you want to look at something or whatnot. Stuff like that, or you want to maybe try to see someone's face or something, but from a good distance away. So that's good to have. Level 2, big time upgrade, is moving to an actual camera system. So the simplest version of that is getting a dash cam and then a reverse cam as well. That's the simplest version. If you can access it, remotely, that's also cool, but there's a bunch of stuff that comes with that. Now, the really advanced way to do this, like the guys down at the border and down overseas and stuff like that, is having an actual pole cam, kind of like you see, you'll see the little trailer on the highway and stuff like that. That pole cam with the big cord, spiraled around the pole. There are some different pole cams that you could get, but they are really, they look just way too expensive and not worth it because they're all contractors to law enforcement, to the military and stuff like that. So I would say make your own. Make your own pole cam. And if you don't want it on a pole, you can just get a whatever camera you want, whatever 360-degree little semi-spherical camera, and place it somewhere where you can get, 360-degree observation and then hooked up to your vehicle brain. Get the camera feed to your vehicle brain so that you can sit in the driver's seat of your vehicle and you can look around, all around you in all directions, and you can zoom in. Of course, if it's a great camera, then you can zoom in a bunch. So that's awesome observation. You can look anywhere around you and you can get really, really fine detail from just a little, bulb camera, however you want to call it. So look into those. Look into outdoor cameras that are normally supposed to be outdoor, probably a wired option, and then you can paint it the same color as your vehicle to make it blend in a little bit more. Really cool stuff you can do like that. So down to level 3. Of course, level 3 always the most advanced, usually most expensive, and that is getting a drone. That's about the most observation that you can do without having another person to help you. So easiest thing is a cheap analog first-person view drone, like I'm sure you guys are aware of. Those are pretty cool. You can mess around with those. Those can be your gateway drug. A rarer thing is like larger fixed wing drones. They can give you great flight time and good for different things. This stuff the usability of drones, of course there is great usability, but it gets pretty specific to what you're trying to get out of adding a drone to your vehicle situation. But let's say the most kind of normal thing that you can do is just get, a quadcopter. You can just get a DJI quadcopter drone, probably the most popular route. And then just the only additional consideration on that is all of the FCC mandated, blasting out its ID and transponder stuff so that devices will have it on record, where your drone was and what drone it is and stuff like that. I think it's still the 250 gram limit, but just check your laws on that. Check the federal and state laws, because they do change more than people think. And so that's it. Plenty of stuff you can do. I've included all the links, and it is really awesome to harden your vehicle against electronic warfare concerns. If you can be in the middle of a nightmarish city like New York City or DC or Seattle, Portland, wherever, one with a lot of cell towers blasting out a lot of really, really bad stuff, or that might blast out bad stuff at any given time, and you can make it to where the interior of your vehicle is just a total protected space, and you don't have to go crazy about immediately leaving as fast as you can. That's really, really awesome. If your vehicle can be your castle like that for you and your family and anyone who's with you, that's a really, really awesome capability. So I wish you guys the best. I would love for you guys to share any builds that you have where you have done any electronic warfare stuff with your vehicle. It's not very often seen. Usually you just see engine swaps, crazy suspension, stuff like that. You don't see too often. People will have a ham radio set up and whatnot, but you don't really see too often some EW concerns integrated into somebody's vehicle build. So if you guys have done any of this, send me pictures, show me. It's really awesome. It's really cool to see people caring about EW considerations with their vehicles. So hope you guys enjoyed. Next episode is going to be a mega post. Next episode is going to be massive. It is the maintenance section. That's as big as like four to six of these sections, whatever. Maintenance is massive. So that's going to be a really, really long one. But that's one of my favorite things. So I'm excited about that.